Now, with the League 2 playoff final being tomorrow, in today's video, what I'm going to be bringing you guys is my combined 11 for Stockport County versus Carlisle United. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know what your combined 11 be for these two teams. Now, there's no real stipulations. This is not necessarily what the team would be if we were going into a match. I've just tried to balance it as much as possible, get as many Carlisle and as many Stockport players in there as possible, and this would be the ultimate team if both of the sides were to come together. Now, obviously, there's only 11 places. We have gone with a 3-5-2 formation because that is a formation that both teams have played for the majority of this season. Carlisle have played a couple of games as a 4-3-3, but I thought it would be best that we play players in their natural positions. So what we've gone with is obviously 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, 3 midfielders, but they're more central midfielders, no real attacking midfielder or defensive midfielder, and then 2 strikers as well. There's some big players who don't make my team. Like I say, get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know who do you think definitely has to be in there. Make sure to drop a like on today's video. Subscribe if you're new as well. Let's get into it. Starting out then with the goalkeeper. This one for me was a pretty easy one. I have gone with Stockport County's Ben Hinchcliffe. Now, this season he has played 37 matches for County. In total, he has managed to keep 17 clean sheets, which isn't actually as many as Thomas Hall. I think Hawley's kept 20 clean sheets this season, but Hinchcliffe has played 10 games less. So from that point of view, I feel like obviously clean sheets is not just the most important thing. Obviously save percentage, and I haven't specifically looked in too much detail at both keepers' save percentage, but if I was to pick a goalkeeper as of right now, I'd want Hinchcliffe. As much as Hawley's very good from coming for crosses and commanding his area, his actual shot stopping I don't personally think is as good as Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe and Hawley have both got a fair decent whack of a distribution on them as well, but in my opinion, if I had to pick between the two goalkeepers, I would just edge it with the Stockport County shot stopper. Into the back three then, on the right side of the back three, I have gone with Fraser Horsfall, again, of Stockport County. He's been pivotal so far this season for Stockport. He's been a big part of their push towards the place, and eventually, obviously, they only just missed out on automatic promotion, on the final day. This season, Fraser Horsfall has kept 16 clean sheets in just the 32 starts, so he averages a clean sheet 1 in every 2 appearances. Without him, they've conceded, obviously, a lot more goals. He's been a massive factor to how successful their defensive record has been so far this season. He's averages 3.9 clearances per game as well, 0.9 interceptions and 0.9 tackles per game. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. He wins 67% of his total duels, averaging 8 of them per 90. I think he's been absolutely brilliant, and by far and away, Stockport County's best centre-half for me this season. In the middle of the back three, I have gone with the first Carlisle United player. I have gone with club captain Morgan Feeney. He actually made my League 2 team of the season. If you've not already checked that out, we do have players feature from Carlisle United. I think there's a Stockport County player in there. I might be wrong. Yeah, there definitely is a Stockport County player in there, so make sure to go check that out if you haven't already. But Feeney for me this season, very similar to Horsfall, he's been very pivotal to his side's success. This season he has struggled with injuries though, just the 29 starts for him, but he has kept 13 clean sheets in those starts, so not as good of a clean sheet per game record, but still been brilliant this season. He averages 1.3 interceptions per game, 0.6 tackles per game, 2.9 clearances per game. He also wins 62% of his total duels, averaging 5.4 of them per 90. He's been absolutely brilliant. Even chipped in with 3 goals, and you can clearly notice when he's not in that side, because I thought Morgan Feeney dealt with Andy Cook very brilliantly, and then Huntington struggled a little bit during the playoffs, but Feeney for me has been absolutely outstanding this season and deserves a spot in that middle of the centre of our defence. And completing my 3 centre-backs on the left side, I have gone with our second Carlisle United player. I have gone with John Mellish. Now, while he's had a couple games in the centre of midfield, I think on the left of a back three, in my opinion, is Mellish's best position. He's missed a couple of the games towards the back end of the season through suspension, but in total has played 43 games this season for Carlisle. Scored 6 goals and chipped in with 2 assists as well. Defensively, very good. They've kept 18 clean sheets when he's been in that side. 1.2 interceptions per game, 1.6 tackles per game, 3.2 clearances per game as well. He wins 54% of his total duels, averaging 5.6 of them per 90. He's been absolutely brilliant for Carlisle this season. I would say, a completely different player to what he's been for Carlisle over the last couple of years. Well, he's been one of their better players over the last couple of seasons. This season, I think, has been probably his best season in a Carlisle shirt. I think he's been absolutely outstanding. On that left side of defence, he's been brilliant, and in my opinion, has to complete my back three. So far, we've got Hinchcliffe in goal, and a back three of Horsfall, Feeney, and Mellishaw. 2-2 on the scores for combined players. Let's get into the wing backs. Starting out on the right-hand side, this was one of the easy ones for me. I've gone with Stockport County's Kyle Noyle. Now, Finn back hasn't played enough this season for me compared to Kyle Noyle. While Noyle spent the first half of the season with Doncaster, the second half of the season at Stockport has been brilliant, and I personally think Noyle is a better player than Joel Senior. He's played 50 matches in League 2 in total this season, has Kyle Noyle. Scored 3 goals and chipped in with 7 assists as well. 10 goal contributions from a right wing back. I think he's absolutely outstanding. Defensively though, he's pretty solid as well. 12 clean sheets, 1.2 tackles per game, 1 clearance per game as well. He has a 49% successful dribble rate, and he wins 54% of his total duels. He has a 24% accurate crossing rate as well, which is pretty decent. You know, 1 in 4 crosses are finding a Stockport County player, which I think is pretty impressive, to be fair, for a wing back. But this was one of the easy positions, like what I say. Kyle Noyle's been brilliant for me. Made my League 2 team of the season. Over on the left-hand side, this one was very, very hard. Jack Armour, Chris Hussey, whoever you go with, I have absolutely no complaints with whatsoever. Both of them this season have scored 2 goals and chipped in with 6 assists, but I've just edged it with Stockport County's Chris Hussey because he's done it in less matches. Only the 29 starts for him this season. 8 goal contributions from left wing back, I think, is absolutely brilliant. 7 big chances created, 1.4 key passes on average per game as well. He has a 30% crossing accuracy as well, which I think is brilliant. 13 clean sheets kept this season, 1.1 interceptions per game, 1.3 tackles per game, 2.8 clearances per game. He wins 68% of his total duels as well, 70% on the ground. He's been absolutely brilliant since joining Stockport County. I think he joined from Port Vale. I might be wrong. You have to let me know down in the comment section down below. He is now 34 years of age and also out of a deal with Stockport in this upcoming transfer window. But for me personally, whoever you go with, out of Armour or Hussey, I don't really have too much of a debate either way. But for me personally, I think Hussey just edges it. Let's move into the midfield. The first name on the team sheet for me has to be Carlisle United's Owen Moxon. He's been absolutely outstanding for Carlisle. Maybe I've underrated him a little bit throughout the whole course of the season, but over the last couple of weeks, watching him 90 minutes and then 120 minutes in the reverse fixture in the playoffs, you realise how good of a player Owen Moxon is. 47 appearances for him this season with 47 starts, 6 goals and 16 assists, 22 goal contributions from the centre of midfield. He's absolutely outstanding. He's also created 9 big chances, averages 2 key passes per game, absolutely brilliant. His defensive stats are outstanding as well. 1.3 interceptions per game, 3.4 tackles per game, 1.3 clearances per game as well. He has a 61% successful dribble rate, and he wins 53% of his duels. He's been absolutely brilliant. The best central midfielder in the league, in my opinion, and thoroughly deserves a spot in this side. He can play as an 8 or even as a 6 as well. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for Carlisle this season. And another key figure in Carlisle United's success this season has been Callum Guy. Played 47 times as well for them this season. 4 goals, 1 assist, but it's not his offensive play. If there was to be a sitter out of these 3 midfielders, it would be Callum Guy. He's the anchor of the team. 1.2 interceptions per game, 2.3 tackles per game, 1.4 interceptions per game as well. Wins 60% of his duels, 64% of his aerial duels as well. He's been brilliant for Carlisle this season. If you don't have him anchoring at the base of that midfield, then Moxon can drop in there. Alfie McCalmont doesn't make my team, but I think he's had a good end to the season as well, coming in on loan from Leeds United. But for me personally, Callum Guy thoroughly deserves a spot in my team. There's no Callum Camps, no Anthony Sarcevic in my team. We do have a Stockport County player though in my midfield. I've obviously gone with Will Collar. The 25-year-old has started 39 matches for County this season, scored 10 goals and chipped in with 6 assists. Not quite the 22 goal contributions of Owen Moxon, but Collar has been brilliant for Stockport this season. Really come good towards the back end of the campaign. Defensively, he's pretty decent as well. 1.8 tackles per game, but it is more going forward what he offers. You know, goals, assists, brilliant player. And if I had to pick one Stockport County midfielder to make my team, it had to be Will Collar. I think he's been absolutely brilliant and thoroughly deserves a spot in this team. Let's get into the 2 strikers then. This was really hard because a lot of teams, especially, well, both teams, but especially Carlisle, have a lot of options who can play up there. Let's see who I've picked. Firstly, I have gone with Kyle Wootton of Stockport County. There is one player from each team, so no Paddy Madden in my side. He started 40 matches this season for Stockport, 14 goals and 4 assists. I think he's a very, very good conversion rate. I'm pretty sure they gave him a 3-year deal in the summer, and some people looked at that and were a bit confused by it. I think he was at Notts County last season, wasn't he? Stockport gave him a 3-year deal. Obviously, Notts County replaced him with Macaulay Longstaff, who hasn't done too bad, to be fair to him, but this season for me, I think Kyle Wootton's been very, very impressive, to be fair. Not just going forward defensively from set pieces, he's very important as well. He's created 11 big chances as well this season, so he could actually be on 15 assists if the Stockport County finishing was a little bit better. But like what I say, he's been brilliant. Has unfortunately missed a large majority of the back end of the season, hasn't featured in either playoff semi-final. I'm not too sure if he's going to be available for the final, but we are basing this off the fact everyone would be available for the final. Wotton, for me, has easily been Stockport County's best striker this season. Obviously, Paddy Madden's had his problems with injuries, and in my opinion, Wotton takes that spot every day of the week. Better than Stretton and better than Oluwafe, who's done okay, you know, scored a pivotal goal for them in the playoffs, but hasn't probably quite lived up to the expectations since coming in on a permanent transfer from Millwall. But for me personally, Kyle Wotton has to be in my side. And completing my team then, I have gone with Carlisle United striker, not Joe Garner, not Ryan Edmondson, not Amari Patrick, not John Kimami Gordon. I've gone with Christian Dennis, 35 starts, 20 goals. How can anyone look at that and turn their nose up at it? Yes, he might be 33 years of age, chipped in with 4 assists as well. He has a 23% goal conversion rate. Nearly 1 in every 4 of his shots find the back of the net. Yes, he's missed 11 big chances this season, but he scores a goal every 150 minutes. He's been absolutely brilliant this season for Carlisle. Didn't actually feature in either playoff match. He was on the bench. He actually came on in the second leg, didn't he? But then got injured, so he didn't come on in the second leg because he picked up an injury in training. But I feel like if he probably would have played it, the scoreline would have been a little bit more embarrassing. But 20 goals in 35 starts. How can anyone look at that and turn their nose up at it? Brilliant. And in my opinion, has been fantastic for Carlisle this season. Yes, he's 33. He is also out of a contract with Carlisle in the summer. I'll be interested to see how that one does work out. If they get promoted, will he get a new deal because of his age? I'm not really too sure. Maybe someone like a Wrexham offer him a 3-year deal. You never know what's going to happen from that point of view. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try to 80 likes. As I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know what would your combined 11 be for the teams of Stockport County and Carlisle United. Who makes your team? Who doesn't? Let me know that sort of stuff down below. Good luck to both teams in the playoffs. May the best team win. We might even do a live stream as well, reacting to the game, so make sure to stay tuned for that around 1:30 tomorrow if we do eventually decide to do that. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all very soon for another one. Peace.